I'm your Jesus-loving and potty host, L.A. Sprague. Welcome to Christians with Chronic Illnesses. Hello, everybody. I would love to introduce you to wonderful Madeline Mead. Madeline, you emailed me, and I was so thrilled. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi everybody. So as Ellie said, my name is Madeline, and I am from Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia, and I live with cerebral palsy, and as a result, I am a full-time wheelchair. Um, which so I don't walk at all,
Mm.
um, because all four of my limbs are affected by the disability. And I'm also Catholic, which is a big part of my identity. And as you said, Ellie, I am a psychological associate, which means that I am not a full psychologist yet, but I'm working on becoming licensed and I'm still able to provide services.
Yeah, how close are you to getting your full becoming a? Are you becoming a psychologist? Is that right?
Yes,
How
yeah.
how close are you to that?
So I'm about 6 months away.
6 months. Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And this is in March of 2026. So by
Right.
the time your episode comes out, you might already be a psychologist. So
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. Are
Yeah.
you going to be working in your own, like, I don't know how psychologists work because I know therapists, you can kind of have your own office and stuff, right? Is that similar with psychologists or do you work at hospitals?
Yes, you can have your own private practice or you can work in a group practice, which is what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I work at a group practice that focuses on treating other individuals with disabilities
Mm-hmm.
and helping them cope. So like individuals with traumatic brain injury or cerebral palsy or multiple sclerosis or POTS or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like,
Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
So, thanks for doing that, first of all, as someone with POTS. I'm sure that's so needed. And so, I love that there's people in your group that are healing from that. Oh, that's so cool. I wish I could be there. Unfortunately, I'm not in Pennsylvania, but I'm sure that's quite a treat. So, do you think that you'll do your own practice or do you think you'll join another place?
I would like to stay where I am
Really?
for
Okay.
at least a little bit, for at least 6 years
Yeah.
to establish my reputation.
Yeah.
Mm.
If anyone is interested in, reaching out to you once, you're a psychologist, or I don't know if they're able to reach out to you now or where you're at now, are you comfortable with saying where you're working?
For sure. So it's called the Rolling Center for Behavioral Medicine. Um, and they're actually based out of Los Angeles, California, but they have offices in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Washington State, and California.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
what was it called again?
Rowan Center for Behavioral Medicine.
Okay, awesome. Very
Yeah,
cool. Very cool. Wow. So that's really cool. So right now you're just working in like a group setting.
right.
Okay, nice. Well, what do you do outside of your work?
I love to read and sing in my church choir.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm actually very busy this because, Holy Week is coming up. So we're like
Mm.
practicing for Palm Sunday and Good Friday and Easter.
Yeah.
So,
Are you an alto or soprano?
Sopranos.
Soprano?
Soprano.
Okay,
Yeah.
girl. Very
Soprano one,
nice.
actually.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Very impressive. Yeah, I was always what is it, alto one in between like the alto and the soprano. Sometimes I'd go up to soprano too. So that
Yeah.
was always fun. I could never do soprano one though. That's incredible. That's cool. Yeah, I was in choir in high school and stuff, and I've actually considered joining a local choir, so that's very
You
cool.
should. It's really fun. I was
Yeah.
I was in choir throughout high school and college and grad school, so it's really helpful along with my faith to
Yeah.
help me cope with
Yeah.
everything.
So you mentioned that you're Catholic. Were you
Mhm.
raised Catholic
It
or
was.
you were okay, gotcha.
Um, I also went to a Catholic high school and college.
Wow, so it's
And I
very
went to,
important to you.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us more about that. Who is Christ to you? What's your faith like to you right now, and why is it such a big part of your identity?
Christ is, that's a big question because he's so important to me.
Oh.
He's involved in everything I do. I think because, we call him and God, Father. But I think that lots of people, Christians and non-Christians, don't really know what that means. Like it's just an arbitrary name to call him. But I think I really view him as a father and that I am his child.
Yeah. So it's really comforting to you to have him as your dad.
Hmm.
Aw, that's really sweet. What does that look like? Like to have God as your father? Like, yeah, why is that so impactful for you?
I'm just able to come to him with everything. Of course, I have a wonderful earthly father as well, who's
That's
very involved.
awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Um, but there's just something about being able to put all my trust in God as well.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. So having someone to trust in who's very consistent and
Right.
reliable too. Yeah, that makes total sense. So tell us a little bit about, you mentioned that you have cerebral palsy. What is
Hmm.
cerebral palsy? Do you mind? I'm not sure. I know a lot of people with chronic health conditions, we don't always know like what that actually is, but do you know like what is cerebral palsy?
Sure. I'll try my best to explain. So, cerebral palsy or CPA is like a blanket term for brain damage that can occur for birth, during birth, or immediately after birth,
Hmm.
um, due to a lack of oxygen or an infant stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in my case, it occurred after birth. Um, I'm a twin, and so my brother and I were born at 6 months
Wow.
or 9 months.
Yeah.
Um, and we both were without oxygen for a while.
Mm.
Um, he's disabled also.
Mm.
I should mention that. But yeah, because of the lack of oxygen, there was also a brain bleed,
Mm.
um, which led to the CP.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed at 3 days old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they knew pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And did they find that through like brain scans? Is that how they figure that out?
So what happened was I went to um, I also was born with a hole in my heart. And so I went to get that repaired. And they did brain scans
Mm-hmm.
and they found the bleed. And they told my parents she might not walk.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's all they said.
Wow. So have you ever walked, or you've always
I
been
have
in a
not.
wheelchair? Okay.
I mean, well, I should say I've walked with assistance,
Mm.
like with a walker, but
Mm.
it's extremely difficult
Yeah.
physically. So it's just easier for me to use a walker.
Yeah.
I'm in a wheelchair the whole time.
Gotcha. So does the is the reason that you're not able to use your legs, is that because of the brain bleed, because of the brain damage, or is that because of something else?
Um, so along with the brain damage, CP comes with like spastic and tight muscles,
Hmm.
which makes it very difficult to move.
Okay.
So my legs and my right arm are extremely spastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's like really tense muscles, and that's why you
Right,
can't move them.
right.
Okay, gotcha. So do you have like some movement, or just none at all?
Some,
Yeah.
some. Um, like my left arm is my strongest limb.
Yeah.
So I use that for everything, like typing and
So you're
doing,
left-handy, huh?
yeah. Actually, I don't know. I could be right-handed. My
Right.
right hand is so atrophied
Right.
that you couldn't tell. But yeah.
So
So
what is atrophy? Is that the tightening of the muscles?
yeah, so if you can see, my right arm is in a
Mm-hmm.
fist,
Yeah.
like the whole, like always.
Okay,
And it's
gotcha.
like really tight to my body,
Mm-hmm.
so I can barely move it.
Okay. Gotcha. And is that just in your arms and legs, or does it affect any other part of your body?
So I do have pain in other parts of my body, but that's like from like being in a chair all the time. Like I
Oh,
have,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
So like I have like back pain and neck pain, um, because I work. So I'm like in my chair like 12 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
So like by the time I get home, my back is like killing me.
Yeah.
But,
Man, so that sucks because it's like it's good that you have the wheelchair because it helps you to get around where you need to go and gives you a lot of freedom, I'm sure, and mobility in life.
mhm,
But then it comes with consequences like a painful back and neck and such.
mhm,
Yeah, that's like a two-edged sword. That's hard.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you say? Are there any other symptoms? I mean, already that's, I can't imagine, dealing with the extent of atrophy that you have. But kudos to you because you're just so like you seem very positive and you're
I
very
think I try.
yeah, and you're so disarming to talk to, so kudos to you. That's awesome. um but do you think that there's any other chronic illnesses that come along with this, mentally or physically, or any other symptoms?
Um, well, because of the chronic pain that I have a lot of difficulty sleeping at
Mm.
night. So,
Oh man.
um, that's a big issue. And then also depression.
Yeah.
Um, but that's been managed well since I've been about 14. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you've been able to
Yeah.
manage it pretty well. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. So is that like insomnia? Do you label
Yeah.
it insomnia? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
What have you found? Have you found anything? Because I know that you said that you have depression kind of managed, which is awesome. You have your wheelchair, which helps you get around. What would you say are some things that help you with any of your chronic conditions?
So, speaking of my faith, lots of times when I can't sleep, I will pray the rosary and I will do the rosary for like an hour. And then usually I'll fall asleep afterwards
Aww.
or sometimes during, which is not good. But yeah.
So, what about? I'm not. I'm personally Protestant, and so
Yeah.
I'd be super interested to hear what about the Rosary is very like soothing to your soul that helps you to get asleep. Is there like a line in it that you say that's comforting? Is it kind of the repetition?
Yeah. So as a Catholic, we venerate Mary or the Virgin Mother. And I have a particular fondness for her. Again, as I said, like God is a fatherly figure. The Virgin Mother is also a motherly figure to me. And so, like, to meditate on her journey with Jesus and his birth and the way she was able to say yes to God really calms me because it allows me to think about ways that I have said yes to God and make me feel more connected to him.
Yeah. Huh. So it like helps you focus on Mary's example of obedience to God
Absolutely,
in
yeah.
birthing Christ, and then it helps you too to reflect on your life and kind of how God has led you in your
Hmm.
life. Aw, that's really sweet. I'm happy that that brings you some peace. That's awesome. Any other things? Are there any like medications or foods, or I don't, anything that helps you?
So, so sometimes I take Valium, but not all the time. But it has to be really, really, really bad for me to take it. But I can put up with a lot of pain. But
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So I would love to hear more about your faith and how it's carried you through your chronic illness, or condition, I suppose. And I would love to hear how you're managing depression. And this has been a lifelong thing for you, which, by the way, Madeline, you're the first person I've interviewed who has had that chronic condition since birth. Well,
oh,
about
really?
since birth.
Of
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
course.
And I would love to hear how you have experienced Christ walking with you in your chronic conditions, since birth. Do you have any like significant like situations that you're like, oh yeah, in that moment I knew God was with me? Or do you have the opposite where you're like, this moment I really feel like I was left?
Well, so I have one particular story. It's not mine
Mm,
per se, but it's my mom's.
mm,
So when my brother and I were born, there was a moment where they really thought that we were going to die. Um,
mm,
we were baptized and we were given our last rites. Um, and my mom, she was praying with, it was raining that day really, really hard. And she was praying with the NICU nurse, that we would live. And after they finished praying, the nurse turned my mom around in bed, and there was a double rainbow in the sky. And my mom first told me that story when I was about 5. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like, he really loves us.
oh,
Because I took that as a symbol that he wanted us to stay with my mom and dad
oh,
and stay on Earth.
yeah. So now the rainbow and the double rainbow is always a reminder to you
Yeah.
that God loves you. Aw, that's really sweet. Do you have any like, I don't know, like rainbow themed things that remind you of that, or not really?
I should. I should have more, but I don't.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just
Yeah.
curious. I know that rainbows are often associated with the LGBT community, so sometimes there's a lot
Mhm.
more merch and stuff, and yeah, so.
Yeah.
Aw, well, thanks for sharing that story. Were there
Yeah.
any other situations that you can think of throughout your life that you found comfort in Christ? Or, again, it could be the opposite, that you were angry with Christ. I don't know.
Um, Honestly, there have been so many times when I am so angry with Christ, particularly through high school and college, when
Mm,
I saw my friends going through particular milestones that
mm,
I had yet to experience.
yeah.
Um, so that was a really difficult and dark time,
Yeah.
but I just stayed with him and knew, even though that I was angry, that he still loved me and that he would bring me out. And he did. So,
Yeah. That's awesome that you were able to keep the faith even in those moments of feeling like, I know that even for people who aren't disabled or chronically ill, it can feel so easy to just be like, oh, I'm so behind, you know?
yeah.
And, but even more so, when you have a disability or chronic illness, it just feels like you're really set back. And it's super understandable, I think, to just have human emotions, like, and, but it's beautiful that you had reminders of God's love for you and that you were able to still see him as your father in those times.
In fact, there was, if I may share,
Mm-hmm.
there was a particular time when I did step away. for a brief time from God. Um, but then in my senior year of college, I was hit by a garbage truck
Oh my
in my
gosh.
chair, and my chair was destroyed. But I happened to have a holy card in my backpack, and the holy card was pierced, but nothing else was broken. So I took that as a sign. Uh, that again kept me on earth because I could have died because my chair
Yeah.
was under the wheel well of the truck.
Wow.
So yeah,
Oh my goodness.
so
Wow.
I I returned to church at that time.
Jeez, you talk about a wake up call.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
right,
You're like, all right, I hear you loud and clear. Okay.
right. I know, I know.
Wow. Man, sorry that that happened to you, but it's cool that you're able to see goodness out of it.
Yeah,
Wow. That's wild. So, how do you see God working through your disabilities now?
I think that my ability to specialize in what I treat is the way that he is working through me now because I'm able to use my clinical expertise as well as my lived experience to help my clients. And I feel like it's made me a better clinician because of the experiences that I've had.
Yeah. What would you say are some of the most common things, I guess, like maybe psychological wrestlings that people with chronic illness have to go through?
Well, particularly if the illness is not from birth or congenital, it's a loss of identity, a loss of the particular person that they were before the accident or an accident, if they had that. Um, so they always live in the time there before and after the injury or
Yeah.
accident or diagnosis or what have you. So it's just reconciling those two time periods and recognizing that you're still the same person. You just have to reframe the way you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about people who have had disability or chronic illness since birth? What do you think are some of their common, or even in your experience, what were some, hardships that you had to go through?
Both personally and clinically, I think it's almost the same about like what I said when people don't experience the same milestones as their typically developing peers. Like they're are not married, they don't have kids, or they don't live, or they still live with their parents, or they have to depend on others to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does that feel like a different style of independence than other people have?
Absolutely. So it's important to, particularly clinically, share with your, yeah, share with your client that interdependence does not necessarily mean helplessness, because just because people are helping you live doesn't mean that you can't live a full life. It's important for you to set those boundaries for yourself
Yeah.
and think about what you want out of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that's incredibly difficult. Especially for, those who have the personality of really wanting to just, I want to take care of myself, I want to push myself. I mean, I'm sure that you probably fall along that line. You're pursuing psychology. That's not, an easy degree to pursue. And you're doing something really beautiful with your life. And so I'm sure that comes with its own levels of complication and difficulty. So,
Hmm.
how have you worked with that? How have you created boundaries for yourself and set goals for yourself within your abilities?
Frankly, I'm still working on it.
Mm.
Um, because since I was a kid, academics has always been uh, like a point of pride for me. And I felt like my brain was all that I had.
Mm.
So I put everything that I had into school, into every part of my education. Um, and also like having my parents and caregivers come in and out and like not having privacy is and was very difficult.
Yeah.
Um, but I just have to be like firm. I mean, not in a rude way, but
Yeah.
like, can I just go and do some things? I'll be fine. Just
Right.
just let me do my thing.
Yeah. How do they do with letting you do that?
Um, it depends. My my parents are kind of still hovering, um, which is difficult. But my the but they're incredibly supportive overall. Um, and the same with the hired caregivers that I have as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What does that look like having those boundaries? Like, do you mind giving a specific example of like, I don't know if it's like, don't come into my room from this time to this time, or let me go into the store. Like, I don't know. What are some of those ideas?
So yeah, so I basically have to plan out everything that I do, um, which is annoying at times because it can't be spontaneous,
Yeah.
really. But like I'll be like, I'm working from 9 to 6. Do not come in here, my room, unless I call you.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something wrong, I will call you. Do not come in before that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, good for you to make boundaries for yourself. I know that can be really difficult, especially when,
it's hard. Yeah.
yeah, especially when people, they want to help you, they want to like treat you well, make sure you're okay. And so that can be hard on both sides to kind of, allow them, like for your parents, it could be tricky to allow you space, and then for you, it could be hard to feel like you're being hovered. So
Yeah.
good for you for communicating.
I mean, I know that it comes from a good place, of course, but
Yeah.
it for sure is hard sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What would you say are some surprising blessings that have come from your disability?
Like I kind of said earlier, being able to specialize in what I am specializing in and having that lived experience and being able to be involved in disability rights and advocacy as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I would love to hear more about when we did our pre-interview. Um, you had mentioned that one thing that you're really passionate about is helping your clients with chronic illnesses and disabilities to incorporate their, I guess, limitations. I don't know. Their unique bodies and minds, as a positive part of their identity, as a strength, rather than, a weakness or something to be ashamed of. So I was wondering if you could expound more on, yeah, what does that look like? Like, what did you mean by that?
Well, it comes from what I did my dissertation on, my doctoral dissertation, which focused on ableist microaggressions. And if you don't know, microaggressions are like subtle things that can be looked at as an insult.
Hmm.
So, like, if you're disabled and someone says to you, oh, you're so pretty, you're too pretty to be disabled, or you're too young,
Yeah.
or they just talk to your caregiver instead of you, like when you're out. That could be an example. And I found through my study that, well, it's for sure judgmental. It can lead to motivation as well.
Really?
And yeah, and allowing you to prove other people wrong in the way that they see you. So whenever my clients experience those things, as they do on a daily basis, sometimes I encourage them to look at it as motivation for themselves.
How do you do that? How do you turn something that someone said that you feel was insulting or belittling, how do you turn that into something to inspire you instead?
For example, if someone said, "Oh, you're too pretty," somebody thought I was pretty.
Oh,
So just look at it that way.
yeah.
I know that that's a very simple um example, but
Yeah. Do you have more examples? I think that was good.
um or like if you're in school and somebody says you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be in college, or you're too stupid. Um I had that happen to me.
Oh,
Um
sorry.
you just work harder and you'll be as intelligent. You show them how intelligent you actually are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. That's awesome. Show them.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, Madeline, do you have any last thing any um, last word of encouragement or anything that's like burning on your heart that you would love to share with other people who have cerebral palsy?
In Catholicism, there is such a thing as redemptive suffering, which means like the more that we suffer, the closer we are to Jesus. So I would encourage your listeners to, anytime they have pain or are fatigued or anything like that, just offer it up to God and remember that this might be horrible in the moment, but it brings you closer to Jesus. And he hears you and sees you all the time in everything that you do.
Thanks, Madeline. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for being on Christians with Chronic Illnesses. It was a true pleasure and a real joy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being a part of the Christians with Chronic Illnesses community. Please remember to follow, rate, and subscribe to the show. You can also follow us on our socials at CWCI Podcast. And if you're interested in sharing your story, please email us at cwcipodcast@gmail.com. If you are interested in contributing to the production of Christians with Chronic Illnesses, please see the show notes below for subscriptions starting as low as $1 a month, or email us for a more direct way to give. This show is hosted and produced by Ellie Sprague, and our incredible logo, thumbnail, and overall CWCI artist is Brianna Middleton. This show is intended for entertainment and encouragement purposes only. Please talk to your doctor before trying anything you hear on this show. Until next Monday.